Hey, ma'am, good morning. Ma'am, you're on mute, I think.
Welcome back to our today's class, Supply Chain Management. In previous class, we discussed about Block 1, Introduction to Supply Chain Management. Okay, and where we learned about what is supply chain management exactly, how the structure of supply chain remains, and then the planning takes place, and what are the various network design decisions. We learned about that. And today's class, we are going to learn about logistics management system. What is this logistics management system? Why it is important to learn and what it includes is what we are going to deal with. Actually, logistic management system, it's an important aspect which increases the efficiency and what you call the responsiveness of the organization. Sorry. Yeah. Okay, so it enables understanding this logistic management system of an organization enables one to know how efficiently the organization is handling its logistics in order to have a efficient responsiveness and responsiveness to the logistics. Okay, so in order to improve its supply chain performance, the responsiveness and effectiveness, how the organization improves through various its drivers, sourcing in supply chain, and logistic management and transportation in supply chain. Supply chain drivers. There are various supply chain drivers which organization involves like facilities, inventory, transportation, information, sourcing, and pricing. These are the various drivers which involve in the supply chain. So, how these are strategically implemented and sourced in order to how the structure of these drivers enables the organization, makes it strategically fit into the supply chain process. Okay, and also we will learn about that how these drivers help. Okay, being operational management students, is important to understand about these drivers and their importance in the logistic management. The next topic unit is sourcing in supply chain. The sourcing in supply chain enables us to know the strategic sourcing and sourcing decisions. Means how to organize. Sourcing is what? Sourcing of a right supplier. Means the process which involves selecting the right supplier. So under this chapter, we will learn about what are the various sourcing techniques, the strategies that the organization adopts, and how the sourcing decisions are taken, the process that involves, and then the classification of various stock levels and how it acquires the stocks and retain the stocks, okay, and dispersal of the stocks, and also selection and evaluation of the supplier and maintaining the relationship with the suppliers is what we learn under the sourcing and supply chain. So it's again important. The logistic management, again, it's a part of the supply chain management. So first we will understand the difference between the supply chain management and logistic management. Then how the logistic management, how the goods are moved, like planning. It involves planning, implementation, controlling the multiple processes so that it can ensure the functioning and storage of movement of goods from the origin to the final customer. So, okay, so this logistic management involves various activities like relating to the warehouse management, inventory control, raw material accumulation, and planning and supply demands, meeting these, all these. So it's important. So the main goal of the logistic management is to reduce the company's overall operations and operational cost, okay, and providing a maximum satisfaction to the customer. The last unit in this block tells about the transportation in supply chain. So transportation, we know it is the distribution network. It related to the distribution network. How the distribution network is planned, okay, and like moving the goods from the origin to the different channels, whatever are involved, how it moves, and supply chain involved, like how effectively this transportation improves the supply chain. Means how the distribution network, the planning of the transportation of goods to different locations is important. So the effective transportation management involves makes the organization have a effective supply chain and decreasing the waste of materials and time, and ensures a timely distribution of the materials and also reduction in the cost. Okay, so we learn about it is important for one who wants to be into the operational management and especially into the supply chain line. Understanding this logistic management system is very much important. That's the reason why these topics are introduced in your syllabus. Okay, let us understand about our what you call one by one in this chapter or this block. Okay, let's move on to wait. I'll type this. Today's topic: supply chain drivers. So, what are these drivers? What is their importance? Uh, okay, and how do these drivers perform? And what is the concept? And what are the models and strategies that the organization adopts? And role of inventory in the supply chain management is what we are going to learn under this topic. Okay, so see, look at here. The whatever the objectives are given, that from that perspective, learning is important. So you are under this chapter or unit, you will understand the importance of supply chain drivers and supply chain performance. After that, you will understand the concept and model strategies of sourcing. After that, role of inventory, pricing, and information in supply chain. These are all drivers actually. Okay. And then the principles, functions, cost and economic criteria of transportation and supply chains. Then role of customers, which is more important in supply chain management, is what, and also role of warehousing in supply chain operations. These are the topics which are having a more weightage in preparation. Okay, understanding also. So let us see the major drivers of supply chain performance. We have like a three are there in logistical drivers and three cross-functional drivers are there. So let us see the logistical drivers. Okay, the major drivers of supply chain performance are three. Okay,